Hear me?
I can, Judge. Good morning.
Uh, I had some technical difficulties a moment ago, but I think we worked them out. This is Lisa Haney. She is here and she's at the conference room at the courthouse. This is the time for a pretrial conference, the matter of Barkley's Bank of Delaware versus Lisa Haney. Let me get your P number here. P 86016. The amount at issue is $1,422.81 plus cost, interest, and attorney fees. The lawsuit was served on Ms. Haney, and she filed a letter, which we accepted as an answer, essentially denying that the debt was hers. I have an issue, so I'm going to ask both of you to just stay right where you are for a moment, and I'll be right back. I'm going to leave everything on. My apologies for that. We had a bad accident with a death, and there's some issues that need to be resolved with that, but I'll take that up when we finish this. Anyway, Ms. Haney denied the debt. Barclays Bank did an investigation and determined that, I'll just read it, dated November 13th of 24. We have completed a thorough investigation of your fraud claim. After careful consideration of all information available to us, we're unable to approve your fraud claim because we have concluded that the charges were made by you or someone who had authority to use your account. As a result, you are responsible for paying the previously disputed balance along with any associated finance charges and fees. So you've made a fraud complaint, which they denied. Mr. Quinn, what's the status from your perspective? Excuse me.
Like you said, Your Honor, when we did receive defendant's answer, we immediately flagged it for fraud. We told our client about that. We sent defendant a fraud packet. It looks on October the 8th. We never received the fraud packet back. And like was already stated, our client conducted an investigation into the matter and concluded that they did not believe that there was fraud in this instance.
Ms. Haney, what's your position?
What are the charges for? Can you tell me what the charges are for?
Well, I was looking at the complaint and the things that come with it. This is some sort of a price line card. And it shows a number of things on 1020 and 1021. I'm not sure exactly what I'm looking at. A Red Roof Inn in Kalamazoo, a Best Western.
I never went to a motel by myself, so I've never charged anything there. I mean, a hotel would have cameras.
First of all, they sent you a fraud packet and you never sent it back. Secondly, when this charge occurred, they sent a bill to your house on at your address on Kirk Creek Road, and you never disputed it at that point. You just didn't pay it.
Yeah, a collection bureau thing.
Mr. Quinn, can you tell what the money was charged for?
Like you said, Your Honor, in the complaint there was the statement with all of the looks like hotels and motels, Baymont, Sleep Inn, Red Roof Inn, Radisson.
That sounds like somebody that's on a business trip, and I don't do that.
Well, they're all the same day.
Yeah, that's weird. Doesn't make no sense. Kind of sketchy there, don't you think?
All right. Well, they would have sent you a bill for this.
Did
you get a bill and say, hey, wait a minute, I don't know this?
I got bills and I called the number and the lady said, okay, we'll turn this into fraud or something like that. And then my phone kept blowing up. So was my husband's, and I could never get to the bottom of it. When I turned it in for fraud, I thought we were done with it, but evidently not. Because me and my husband consolidated all of our credit cards. Why would I go out and get another one? That just don't make no sense.
So you're denying that you even had this Priceline Visa signature card?
Yeah, I've never had a Priceline signature card. I've never heard of it, honestly. It's just baffling. It all started when I went up to Baldwin, and my husband and I went up to Baldwin 2 years ago. And after we gave back, two weeks later, my phone was blowing up, his phone was blowing up with all this, and I'm like, what the heck? And all we had was our debit card, and I didn't have no Visa cards because we consolidated them all. And that one is not even on the list.
Well, they sent some billings to your house.
That's when I called the lady to tell her, man, this is not right.
1/15 of 23 to your Kirk Creek Road address.
Yeah, and that's when I would call her back. And then when I called, like the, I don't know, attorney, I think an attorney letter came or something, and I called, and the guy said, oh, I can't talk to you, and hung up on me.
All right. Well, you don't have a presumption of innocence in a civil case, but the plaintiff does have the burden of proof. They have to prove that you owe this debt. Mr. Quinn is here on behalf of the law firm Stillman's office, and I'm confused too. It shows a bill that I don't understand. Purchase activity for Lisa Haney in this card, December 20 and 21. It shows multiple charges. Then it shows points and amount of the debt. You didn't stay in 9 different hotels on December 20th and 21st.
Exactly.
So I'm not sure if what I'm reading is correct.
Well,
But anyway, it shows this credit card was used at multiple hotels. It looks like all on the same date. Now they have to prove that you owe this money.
Exactly.
And
We have a video camera. Hotels have cameras, and I don't give anybody authority to use my card if I had one. That's just stupid.
you can't hear me?
Yeah, I can.
Just in case you needed something.
All right, try it now. All right, thank you. All right, we are dealing with Barkley's Bank versus Lisa Haney. File number is 241251 GC. Well, there is no summary disposition motion, and the defendant denies the debt. So, Mr. Quinn, I guess we can do a couple of things. We can set the matter for trial. We can perhaps look at a summary disposition motion, but defendant is claiming a defense that I don't own this card and it wasn't me. What's your thought here?
Can we get a scheduling order, Your Honor? And maybe set it for trial. We might file a motion for summary disposition. Ms. Haney, do you remember receiving the fraud packet from our office?
I don't, or I would have kept that because that's exactly what I'm dealing with.
Right.
My identity got taken somehow.
All right, well, let me, I believe they sent you the fraud packet. And
Yeah.
I don't know if you misplaced it or that was in October. You didn't respond, and then they made the finding in November that there was no. But for one thing, it's not clear what they allege that you charged.
Exactly.
You say, I never even had such a credit card,
I never
but
heard
all right, they sent you billings for that credit card to your house. They
And that's what I
sent you a fraud packet at your house, which you didn't
Yeah.
return. And the problem is, if it was a situation, but we allege that you bought a washer dryer set at Home Depot on June 15th and didn't pay for it. And you would say, I never bought a washer and dryer at Home Depot. Here, I'm not exactly clear what it is you supposedly put on this credit card. And I don't think you are either. But they sent several billings.
And that's when I started putting the numbers on there. And they said, oh, we'll file that as fraud then, or identity theft. And I thought it was handled, and I thought I'd not hear from them again, and here we are. I guess I didn't know that was, I don't know. Maybe that was my package.
What he's proposing is a scheduling order where I set out some dates by which things can occur. So plaintiff has 21 days to file a summary disposition motion. Defendant has 21 days to respond if she wishes to.
Is that a question? Sorry.
Yeah, well, not exactly. Then I'll allow 60 days for discovery. And I'm going to set this for trial for let me see. 21, 42 days, 60 days for discovery. February 26th at 1:30, 1 p.m. One question that you're entitled to have answered, as I indicated, they have the burden of proof. So they have to provide a witness that will come in and say, these charges were made on this date. And then theoretically, they have to somehow prove that you're the one that made those charges. All right, now there are ways to do it. I don't know what the billing history is on this card. You say I've never used this card. So let's assume they can show that the card was taken out in 2022 and there were charges made on it and you paid on the charges, and then there were other charges made on it and you paid on the charges. It would show a history of use of the card. I don't know whether that's accurate. Your position is I've never used the card at all. I didn't have the card and I don't know what it is you allege that I charged.
Right, I couldn't give her the last numbers of the card. She's like, I got the last four, but I can need the other ones of this card. I'm like, I don't have that card to give you the numbers on. That's what I was saying.
Well, and the other odd thing is what they did submit shows 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 separate hotel charges on the same day.
That's
now maybe the reservations were made on that day. I don't understand what that's showing me, and the numbers don't match.
What started as a routine debt collection case quickly turned into something far more complicated. Barkley's Bank of Delaware came after Lisa Haney for over $1,400 in unpaid charges on a Priceline Visa signature card, a card she says she never applied for, never used, and never even knew existed. And when you look at the evidence the bank presented, something doesn't add up. 8 separate hotel charges: Baymont Inn, Sleep Inn, Red Roof Inn, Best Western, all hitting the same card on practically the same day. That's not a spending pattern. That's a red flag. Even the judge couldn't make sense of it, calling it a little hinky right off the bat. Lisa Haney stood firm. She told the court she and her husband had consolidated all their credit cards. She said she never traveled alone to those hotels, never authorized anyone to use a card in her name, and couldn't even provide the full card number because she never had it. She tried to dispute the charges early on, calling the number on the bill and being told it would be filed as fraud, only to find out months later that the bank denied her claim after an investigation she says she was never properly part of. Now, the judge made a critical point in civil court. There's no presumption of innocence, but the plaintiff still carries the burden of proof. Barclays Bank has to prove Lisa Haney is responsible for this debt, and with a billing statement that raises more questions than answers, that's no easy task. The case has been set for trial, and a new fraud packet is on the way. Sometimes the courtroom isn't just about what you owe. It's about proving who really owes it. If you found this case as eye-opening as we did, hit that like button, drop your thoughts in the comments, and subscribe for more real courtroom breakdowns, because justice never gets old.